We're going to take apart here a Dyson DC25 cleaner head to change the brush roll motor. So first we use a coin, quarter of a turn on the end cap, off that comes, out comes the brush roll. We now have some T15 screws. We're using an electric screwdriver here, you can use a manual one, doesn't matter, we're just using this for speed. And across the sole plate here you'll see there's 8 of them. There's also one Phillips screw in the corner that holds the corner sole plate wheel on. And off comes the little cap, the wheel and the pin. Turn the head over with the sole plate in place and the top cover pops off like so, exposing the motor. Now at this point what we would normally do is plug the head back into a machine in order that we can test the output from the PCB towards the motor. Don't buy a motor on spec, only buy a motor if you know that you have a feed to it. If you plug the head now back into the machine, recline the machine, switch it on, put your tester across these terminals, you're looking for something in the region of 320, 330 volts DC, not AC, DC. As long as you've got a feed to that motor and your motor's not working, then you need to change the motor, so you'll continue by taking off this belt with the long nose pliers like so. The little plastic arm lifts up slightly like that, and out comes the motor. So there's only 2 spades that hold it on. They both have different sizes, so it's not possible to get them the wrong way around. So you've now got your new motor. Plug the spades back in. We're going to reassemble it now, just to run you through it again. Observe this little spring in the head. Make sure it's there when it's going back together, because it's needed to keep tension on the belt. Clips back in like so. See where the little rubber bung that forms part of the motor rubber sits. Make sure that's back in place. And now we have to get the PCB back in. It can be a little bit fiddly, just make sure the wires are routed correctly as you do it. If you've never done it before, when you take one apart, it's better to take a couple of photographs so you know what it's got to look like when it goes back together again. Back onto the solder plate. Again, make sure you don't force anything through any of this process. All this stuff fits, it doesn't need forcing. Back on goes the belt. A little bit of a wiggle and we'll get the cover back on. Make sure it's sat in nice and snug, and again don't force anything. Now you can turn it back over and back go the 8 T15 Torx screws. Make sure if you're using an electric screwdriver that you don't over tighten these, that you do use the clutch mechanism on it. little wheel and axle back in, and the little covering cap, again with the Phillips screw. Back in goes the brush roll, the end cap, 2p coin, or a quarter if you're over the pond, and that's you done. You see it's only took us a shade under 6 minutes, but you can take your time with it. Doesn't matter if it takes you 20 or 30, get it right. Use the link at the bottom of the screen to click through to our site, where you can find where to buy the brush roll, the screwdrivers and anything else you're likely to need, and access further tutorials.